Alright, this is the second time I'm doing this. The first one messed up. This is going to be my review on what you see right there. The Microtech Socom Elite manual action in Duratech 20 CV steel. I'm going to try to do this quicker than I did the last one. And I'm going to try to make this piece of shit iPhone focus. Alright. This is the satin finish model. The grinds are more of a high polished satin, and the flats are more just a regular satin. It's got the swedge. That's badass. It's a 5mm thick blade, so you're looking at SMF thickness here. Really thick blade. This knife came extremely sharp. Sharper than any other production knife I've ever gotten. I mean, it's actually kind of frighteningly sharp. Really sharp. This side, there's no writing. The most beautiful thing about this knife, to me, is the blade shape. And if Microtech does one thing right, it is their blades. I mean, these grinds are all perfectly symmetrical. They're all just absolutely perfect, really, to tell you the truth. It's kind of crazy how good the grinds are on this knife for being a production knife. They're really good. T6 aluminum handle. I guess it's like DLC code or something. This one has your standard torque screw construction. It doesn't have Microtech's bullshit proprietary screws, which really suck. One thing I want to show on this knife, I'm not going to be able to show it that great, but all these screws are fantastic quality. They're all very finished looking. They're all very perfect looking. There's no rigidness or little scratches or anything on these screws. The cutouts for the Torx bits are perfect. Like, compared to like this, this is brand new too. You see that pivot? I mean, it just looks kind of rough. Some of the points on that Torx bit are rounded and all kinds of shit. And that's how it came. It hasn't been touched. And it's all scratched up and shit. It's just not as good a quality as this Microtech, the screws. T10 Torx, pocket clip, one way. You can't adjust it. If you don't like that, don't buy this knife. Glass breaker on the end. A lot of people don't like that too. You can take that out. It's just sandwiched in between the two scales. You can literally just take it right out and it's gone. Liner lock, big liner lock. The thickness on this liner lock is like comparable to like an SMF, really. It's thick. Sits right there in the middle. Lock up on this knife. You open it slow. It might have like the slightest, very minuscule bit of side to side. Up and down, shit how solid. It'll have like as much side to side as I can force out of this, and you know, this is solid. I've already done a review on this. But I mean, I can force side to side out of it, just like I can force side to side out of this. The only knife I haven't ever been able to force side to side play out of is a Sabenza, because they're just ridiculously tight fit knives. I mean, the tolerances we all know. If you sling the blade out, obviously the lockup pretty much stays the same. But if you sling it out really hard like that, it locks up. Shit, how solid. I mean, we're talking like Sabenza solid, like no movement. You can't even force any movement out of the blade. So that's great. Thumb studs act as blade stops. They sit right there in those grooves. Of course, this isn't focusing. They sit right there in those grooves. The blade tang is not radiused like a Strider. It's just ground flat across so that the lockup will last. The lock bar on this knife, it may look like titanium, but it's not. It's stainless steel. And it can be replaced, which I like. There's a little screw right there in the handle. You can replace a lock bar. Down here, probably about right here, there's a spring behind the lock bar that makes the lock bar move over. You can see right there where the lock bar fits into the scale. Grip tape inserts, not my favorite. I would rather have carbon fiber. to tell you the truth. And they offer this knife with carbon fiber inserts, but not with Duratec 20 CV steel. And the one that has carbon fiber inserts has Microtech's proprietary screws, and I just cannot fucking stand them. And I'm not paying $150 for the tool. That's just belligerent. I mean, I don't know a better word. It's ridiculous. What else? As you all know, John Davis did a cut test with this 20 CV. That's why I bought this version. And this 20 CV outperformed every other steel that he's ever tested. This 20 CV shit on S110V. Say what you will, but go watch this video, and it doesn't lie. I mean, he shows it. Microtech's 20 CV, apparently, is the shit. I'm happy about that. That's awesome. It's just cool to have a knife that you know that performs that well. I mean, outperforms S90V, S110V. I mean, that's really impressive. Really impressive. It's just cool to have, you know, a knife that you can carry that just won't get dull for a long time. Jimping right here on the hilts. This knife reminds me of an Almar Sear 2000. I don't know how you say it, or Siri 2000, but just better, more heavy duty. When I got this knife, or when I was looking at it initially, I didn't know it'd be this heavy duty. I mean, I didn't know the liner lock was like frame lock thick. It's literally the thickest liner lock I've ever seen. I did not know that the blade was 5 millimeters thick. I mean, that's a beast. Centering on mine, dead perfect. A lot of people don't talk about this with this knife, but the tolerances on this knife are, they're really good. I mean, there's not much space in between that blade. It's a well-built knife. I know a lot of people don't like Spyderco, Microtech, because the owner, Anthony or Tony or whatever the fuck, I think it's father and son. I know they're both douchebags, but I really could care less. The knife is cool. It's really cool. Lanyard hole for a lanyard if you want to have a lanyard sticking down in your pocket while you're carrying it tipped down, which is just badass. It's there. Pocket clip is great. Great retention. Fantastic retention. Very strong. May not look it, but it is. It's good. And this little cutout here just sits perfectly on the edge of your jeans. It's perfect, really. It sits great in the pocket. Plenty deep, but not too deep. I like that. I just can't get over the lock bar thickness on this thing. It's just insane. The lockup may look later than it is, but I mean, the lock bar is damn near the width of this 5 millimeter blade. I mean, this is like a 3 1/4 millimeter lock bar. I mean, it's big. Thumb studs are huge. Blade stops, we've already gone over all that. Let's do a quick size comparison. Sorry. Alright. Here we go. Here's the Socom, and here's a extra large Manix 2. You can see the Socom is a big knife. It's a 4-inch blade. It's probably like a 5-inch handle. It's big. And here is a Opinel number 10. Check out this patina. I know this is off subject. My girlfriend did that. It's badass looking. Let me try to get it to focus. It looks really cool. And then I did this side, which isn't nearly as cool, but kind of looks like cells. I don't know. So with the Opinel number 10, a little bit bigger, big knife. I don't know what to say about it. It's a great knife. I've never had a Microtech knife, so I figured I'd try this one. Piqued my interest, so I got it, and I'm happy with it. It's a nice knife. I like it. If you want the Duratec 20 CV version, good luck, because it's sold out everywhere. I think me and John Davis got the last 2 that were in stock that I knew of from any website, so you have a hard time finding it. Sorry if I don't really sound too enthusiastic. It's late at night and I'm getting ready to go to bed. But if you have any questions about this Microtech, just let me know. I try to be as honest as I can with these reviews. It's a fantastic knife. Like I said, the lockup, you open it, normal. You might be able to get a little bit of play out of it. Not much. Flick it open, the lock bar is still in the same place no matter how you open it, but it just turns rock solid. So it's pretty fantastic. It's open back here on the back. Anyways, I don't want to run this too long. Alright guys, you got any questions, just ask. Alright, later.